everybody. My name is Karen McCullough, and I'm excited today because we're going to talk about mindsets. You've heard of a growth mindset, haven't you? Because a growth mindset is this new psychology. It's a psychology of success. And today, through understanding your growth mindset, you are going to be able to fulfill your potential. Are you ready to get started? So we talk about change all the time. I mean, the world is changing, your job is changing, everything is changing. Did you know that by 2030, there are going to be more changes that happen in these next few 5-6 years than have happened the 10 years before? So the whole idea is we've got to get ready for these changes. But I believe that people really don't change until they have to. And guess what? It's time. We all have to. I know this for a fact because I'm going to take you back to my biggest change that happened in 2020. Actually, it was March of 2020. March of 2020, I was on a big stage early that month. And by the 10th of March, I was having to learn how to do my business in a totally different way. Everything shut down. All of my business went away. And I was faced with this idea that either I had to change or really die. My business was going to end. So I had to begin to figure out how I was going to turn my home into a studio. And I was going to have to do virtual technology sort of, just like we're doing today, technology programs. Now here's the thing. I remember back when I was in school, I did not like math. I did not do well on math. Engineering was way out of my realm. And I had a mindset that I was not good with technology. Even though I spoke on change, my mindset was stuck. We called it a fixed mindset. I wasn't good at it when I was young. I'm not good at it now. I'm not going to be able to do this. And I panicked. I panicked because the only way that I was going to keep my living, my job going for the next probably whole year or two was to learn how to do virtual events. I had to think in a growth mindset sort of way. A growth mindset says, I can do this. I am open to change and I am willing to change because I can learn. I can keep on adapting. And so I did. I started bringing in younger people to help me. I bought the equipment and I started to practice. And you know what? I wasn't really good in the beginning, but as it went on and on, I got a lot better, like the way we are here today. So I took that fixed mindset mentality of I'm not good at it, I've never been good at it, I won't be good at it. And I evolved into a growth mindset, which means that I am capable of doing better by learning. So today, what I want to talk about is how do we get to a growth mindset? How do we get there? What are the steps that we're going to take? Because we need to begin to all, in the world that we're in right now, shift. Maybe you don't have a fixed mindset, but right now we're all questioning. We're questioning AI. We're questioning the changes that are happening in our organization. And will we be able to grow and with those changes? So my belief is that once you change your mindset, the rest will follow. Once you change your mindset, things will begin to happen. And it's interesting to watch that growth. So today in our short time together, I'd like to share with you the key elements that I think we all need for a growth mindset. And the first one is something that I know I'm not crazy about getting, and I don't know about you, but it's called feedback. Yeah, feedback. Feedback is when people tell us where we're going, they tell us how we're doing, they kind of share their ideas with our growth. They share our ideas with how we're developing. They share their ideas about how we are achieving and succeeding at work. And here's the thing about feedback, especially when you get it from people that you respect. Maybe your boss, maybe your teammates, maybe your partner. If you allow feedback to come into your life, it can be the changing direction that your life takes. I'll repeat that. If you allow it, feedback can be the changing direction of your life. What do I mean by that? As a speaker early on, I would get feedback. And it was very interesting because I still remember some of that positive feedback. They weren't really telling me I was great. They were telling me how I could become great. And when I started to listen and started to make those changes, it's amazing how my career grew. So if we allow it, feedback can be the changing direction of our life. Feedback, though, has to be given with compassion. Feedback, when we're delivering feedback, we have to begin to understand people, and we have to give it gently, because I believe that feedback without compassion is plain cruelty. I'll say it again, because many of you are leaders in here. When we give feedback without compassion, it's basically cruelty, and it could work in the opposite direction, and it could stop people. So the first is feedback. The second is seeking out challenges. If we're going to develop a growth mindset, we can't do it doing the things that we already know we're good at. We have to push the limits. We have to seek out. We have to continually improve. For me, it was pickleball. I decided that I was going to pick up a new sport, and it was going to be pickleball. And I have to be honest with you, in the beginning, not so good. My self-talk was something that I hate to share with you, but my self-talk was after a game, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not good at this. I suck at it. And I had to remember that I'm now working towards a growth mindset. And my growth mindset said, I can't do this yet. But if I keep at it, if I keep practicing, if I keep pursuing it, I'm going to get better. And I'm not going to win any pickleball awards right now, but at least I can go out there, I can enjoy the game, and then I get many of those balls back. So we take that mindset with us as we're going into new things, and we shift our language. I may not be good at it right now, but I will be. I can't do this yet. The next thing we have to do is celebrate our efforts. Celebrate our efforts and not the results. So we have to pat ourselves on the back when we're continually trying. We focus, so many of us, on results. But let's stop focusing on results and give ourselves credit for keep going, keep staying, keep doing it. I kept practicing. I kept going, even on the days when I didn't want to go because I felt like I was hurting the people that I was playing with. Negative thoughts. I kept going because we have to celebrate the effort that we showed up and not the results. And we have to view the challenges that we're facing as opportunities. I have to say that again. Basically, it's a shift in language. We have to view those challenges that are coming up as opportunities, opportunities to grow. I know I'm a motivational, so to speak, speaker, and this is my language, but I've been applying this because sometimes we talk about things, but we don't live them. You know what I mean? I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid right now. I am looking at the challenges that I have, that I'm facing, the different events that I'm even having to do, and I'm looking at them as opportunities rather than obstacles. So we are shifting. So this whole idea of mindset is a shift. It's a shift in thinking. It's a shift in understanding ourselves, and it's a shift in our language. The last thing I want to talk about is that we set learning goals rather than performance goals. I'll say it again. We set learning goals. So when we're trying something new, and for many of us, we're trying new positions in the company, we're trying new opportunities, and we have to begin to look at these as learning goals, not as performance goals. Because a shift mindset is about continued learning, lifelong learning, continuing to grow. So I've given you a lot to think about. I've given you a lot to think about, taking those opportunities, shifting our language, seeking feedback. But what I want you to do when this is over is I want you to spend some time thinking about opportunities that you can use to grow your growth mindset. Because here's the thing, no matter where you are in your career, we are all looking to keep going. And for some of you that are ready to retire, it's interesting because take that growth mindset with you into the next chapter of your life. Ultimately, we want to continually grow. If you do, you're going to find that those years are even better than the ones before. So thank you guys for listening. We're going to now move into a growth mindset and leave that fixed mindset behind. Thank you all. I'm Karen McCullough.